Looking here at multiplying fractions that are more than 1, so mixed numbers or improper fractions, and multiplying them by whole numbers. You need to know how to multiply proper fractions by whole numbers, so watch that video first if you're not sure. It's also helpful to know how to convert improper fractions to mixed numbers and how to convert mixed numbers to improper fractions. If you have an improper fraction to multiply by a whole number, it works exactly the same as when you have to multiply a whole number by a proper fraction. So we start by multiplying the whole number by the numerator. 6 times 4 is 24. And then we take the answer to that and we divide it by the denominator. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So 4/3 times by 6 is 8. Here's one like that for you to try before we move on to the more tricky ones. 5 halves multiplied by 4. Pause the video, have a go. We take the whole number and multiply it by the numerator. 4 times 5 is 20. Now we take that 20 and we divide it by the denominator. 20 divided by 2 is 10, and that gives us our answer. 5 halves multiplied by 4 is 10. This is where it gets a little more tricky. I have noticed that a lot of the textbooks for Key Stage 2 and some of the children that I've worked with have been taught one method that's slightly more tricky than another. I'm going to show you both methods, just in case. The first method is my preferred method. I think this is easier. And you convert the mixed number to an improper fraction first. So my mixed number, 4 2/3, I'm going to convert it to an improper fraction, and if you're unsure how to do that, check the video. I now have 14/3 multiplied by 6, and I do this exactly as I did the ones before. Take the whole number, multiply it by the numerator. 6 times 14 is 84. Now I take that 84 and I divide that by the denominator. 84 divided by 3, that's 28. And there's our answer. The other method that some children are taught, and that I've seen in some of the textbooks, is where you partition out the mixed number and separate the whole number from the fraction. So in 4 2/3, we have the whole number 4 and 2/3, and then we calculate each one separately. Each one will be multiplied by 6. Starting with the fraction, so that's 6, multiplied by the numerator, which is 2, that's 12. Now I take that 12 and I divide it by the denominator. 12 divided by 3, and that's 4. But I haven't finished yet because I still have the whole number to deal with. I now have to multiply that 4 by the 6. 4 times 6 is 24, and now I need to remember to add that 24 to the 4 I got when I calculated the 2/3. 24 add 4 is 28. You still get the same answer, but it's a more difficult way, I think, of doing it. Here's one for you to try. Have a go using both methods, but I would recommend sticking with the method that you find easier to remember. Pause the video, have a go. Remember 2 ways to do this. Method 1, my preferred method, is to convert the mixed number to an improper fraction before we start. 3 3/4, that's converted to 15/4. Now I can proceed as I did with the others. 12 times by the numerator. 12 times 15 is 180. Now I take that 180 and I divide it by the denominator. 180 divided by 4 is 45. And that's the answer. If you're being taught the other method at school, this is how you would do it. We partition the mixed number 3 3/4, so we have a whole number separated from the fraction. And each one will be multiplied by 12 separately. Starting with the fraction, 12 times by the numerator, which is 3. That's 36. Now we take that 36 and divide it by the denominator, which is 4. 36 divided by 4 is 9. I haven't finished though, because I still have to work with the 3 from the 3 3/4. Take the 3 and I multiply it by 12, and that's 36. Now I need to add the 36 to the 9 when I calculated the 3/4. 36 add 9 is 45.